I'm Jean Reed. 5 years into our marriage, a private honeymoon video of Ethan and me has unexpectedly ignited a firestorm online. The scene in the video remains vivid, yet I am being ruthlessly tossed about by fate in this vortex of public opinion. Just as I was reeling from this sudden upheaval, Ethan brazenly walked into our home with his mistress Enya. Enya nestled against him, a hint of triumph subtly gleaming in her eyes. Ethan didn't even glance at me, saying coldly, "Enya is still young. If she wants to cause trouble, just let her. Don't worry too much, we've been married for so many years. Who would even be interested in that video anymore?" He paused, then added, "Enya is pregnant, and she's demanding to be recognized. Let's get a divorce first, and you can come back after the baby is born." With that, he slapped the divorce agreement he'd already prepared down in front of me, as if he were disposing of a worthless piece of trash. I sat there, stunned and blank, the laughter and chatter of Ethan's friends echoing as if from a great distance, yet piercingly clear in my ears. "I bet she won't survive without President Mook. Give it a month, and she'll be back, begging to be taken in," one of them said with a smirk. "Exactly. She's been a housewife for the last 5 years, she probably doesn't have any marketable skills," another person chimed in. I bit my lip, my nails digging into my palm, overwhelmed by a tidal wave of humiliation. The honeymoon suite video kept playing on their phones, the sound like sharp knives, repeatedly cutting into my heart. Sister Jean has a great figure, a 36D, but she's still lacking compared to Enya. President Mook's tactics are impressive, first his wife, now the campus beauty. To make Enya happy, he'd even send out a video like that. Mook really spoils her. Every word they spoke was like a thorn, making my face burn with shame and leaving me feeling like I was sitting on pins and needles. Ethan, completely indifferent to my feelings, held Enya close, never once looking at me directly. "Don't flatter yourself. In your current state, no one will even care about that video," he repeated, a hint of impatience in his voice. "Enya is pregnant and emotionally unstable. Move out before she gives birth. I'll bring you back after the baby is born, naturally." My hand trembled as I held the pen, unable to bring myself to sign. This marriage, which I fought so hard for, is now ending in such a humiliating way. 2 minutes passed, and Ethan's expression grew increasingly severe. "That's enough. I told you this is just a game. Before long, you'll still be Mrs. Mook." His voice was as cold as ice. "Jean, don't push your luck." His friends joined in the laughter. "Mook, don't be so harsh. Your wife must be reluctant to leave you, after all, being with you, she doesn't have to do anything and still gets money." "Exactly. If I were a woman, I'd cling to Mook too." Surrounded by this endless mockery, I took a deep breath, no longer hesitated, and signed my name on the divorce agreement. Since this marriage was already so unbearable, why should I hold on? "Oh, how generous of you, sister-in-law, to be able to tolerate this," someone said sarcastically. I didn't want to hear their mockery any longer and turned to leave. Just then, Enya hurried over to me and grabbed my arm, her feigned concern making me feel sick. "Jean, don't be upset. President Mook said I'm only staying here for a few months to help you out. You'll always be the Mrs. Mook." As she spoke, she deliberately rubbed her ample breasts against me. "I'm just worried about upsetting you, being pregnant and all. President Mook still cares about you." I couldn't bear her touch any longer and instinctively shoved her away. Unexpectedly, she fell backward, landing hard on her bottom, a look of pain twisting her face. She cried out, "Jean, why did you push me? I was only trying to explain things, and now my stomach hurts so much." Ethan, seeing this, rushed to cradle Enya in his arms, his eyes blazing with anger as he glared at me. "Don't move out yet. Wait until Enya is out of danger," he commanded coldly. I knew I couldn't leave this villa like it or not. I could only grit my teeth, swallow my humiliation, and nod. Enya wasn't Ethan's first mistress, but she was the most challenging for me to handle. The last time she confronted me, I'd already lost heart in this marriage and considered leaving. But the servant discovered my packed luggage and reported it to Ethan. That time, he punished me by making me kneel in the freezing snow for an entire night. A chain, as thick as my finger, was tightly fastened around my neck. I can never forget that cold and humiliation. Watching Ethan carry Enya upstairs, I remained downstairs, consumed by despair. I took out my phone and sent a message to an unsaved number. "The wedding may be postponed a few days. Would you mind it?" The owner of that number is Ryan. We were childhood sweethearts, betrothed since we were young. But in my youth, I was rebellious and headstrong. For love, I resolutely chose Ethan, breaking my engagement to Ryan. Moments later, my phone lit up. Ryan replied, "No problem. I'm willing to wait as long as it takes, as long as it's you." Seeing that, a complex mix of gratitude and guilt washed over me. I once betrayed his deep affection, and now, at my lowest point, he's still willing to take me in. Before I could process Ryan's reply, my phone was snatched away by a strong hand. I looked up into Ethan's furious eyes. Who were you texting? He demanded, his voice laced with an undeniable sense of dominance. I shook my head, my face blank, and said softly, it was nothing, just some spam. I don't want him to know about my connection with Ryan Lincoln, and I don't want to give him any more opportunities to hurt me. Ethan Mook clearly didn't believe me. He grabbed my neck tightly and dragged me, step by step, up the stairs. My knees scraped against the steps, and a sharp pain shot from beneath my skirt. Fresh blood trickled down the stairs. Reaching the bedroom door, he finally released me, his voice devoid of warmth. You will kneel here until Enya is out of danger. You can leave when she wakes up. With that, he walked into the bedroom without looking back and slammed the door shut. Through the crack in the door, I could hear his friends' voices. They were still betting on how long I would endure this time. Their laughter hammered at my heart. Once, I so admired Ethan that I broke with my family for him. But over the years, his repeated infidelities have eroded all my love for him. Now, I'm left with only exhaustion and despair. Fortunately, Enya woke up quickly. The doctor said she was just startled and was otherwise unharmed. Ethan's friends, seeing that the spectacle was over, left the villa one by one with mocking glances. I don't know what Enya said to Ethan, but when he came out again, his expression seemed different. He walked over to me, helped me up from the floor, and took me back to the bedroom. This sudden gesture surprised me, but I was even more surprised when he brought me a glass of warm milk. Have some. The servant said you didn't eat today. His tone was uncharacteristically gentle, but I felt there had to be some ulterior motive behind it. No, thank you. I don't usually drink milk. I refused coldly. The moment I finished speaking, Ethan's face darkened. He slammed the cup down on the table, splashing milk everywhere. Jean, don't test my patience. You know the consequences of disobeying me. His eyes held a threat. Are you going to drink it yourself, or do I have to force you? Under his coercion, I had no choice but to take the milk and drink it, mouthful by mouthful. The warm milk went down, but my heart was filled with bitterness. Soon, I felt weak all over, my eyelids grew heavy, but I remained conscious. Just then, Enya emerged from the bathroom, a triumphant smirk playing on her lips as she saw my condition. I thought President Mook was having second thoughts. You promised you'd get revenge for me. Barely anyone watched that video last time, it doesn't count. This time, I want to do something even more scandalous. As she spoke, she walked over to Ethan, sat on his lap, and deliberately grazed his lips with her red lipstick. Ethan, inflamed with desire by her teasing, pounced on her and threw her onto the bed. Soon, harsh gasps echoed in the room, continuing for a full 3 hours before gradually subsiding.